The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Saban Entertainment, and Subaraya Productions. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Rant-O-Cast. Today's episode, one thing about Kamen Riders that we really are glad it has gotten away from in recent years.
And please don't bring it back. Please don't. Leave it away.
And that's the focus on victims of the week.
I hate victims. They suck. They suck so much.
In 2007, we get Kamen Rider Den-O. That's what pretty much starts this whole thing. Now...
I don't understand exactly why you thought this was a great idea. These characters don't matter. And Den-O has such a problem with its story, or lack thereof, because it's just like, it doesn't come in until Ultraman Orb comes in the latter half of the show. So it's just like, I hate the actor who plays the bad guy.
I thought that's what you meant.
Orb.
I'm pretty sure Ultraman Orb was not in the show.
Yeah, the guy who plays Kai is Ultraman Orb. But it's just like, I hate the fact that when we end up focusing on victims of the week, we end up taking away from the actual plot line that could end up being there. That's why Den-O doesn't have one for a good portion of the show, because of the fact that we end up focusing on these characters who don't fucking matter at the end of the day. They are there, they leave, you never hear from them again. Smart Lady is one of them. She's there.
Is she now?
Yeah, this is the last time we end up seeing her in Kamen Rider, which is sad. I miss her.
Is that the character or the actress?
The actress.
Okay.
Yeah, I miss her. Bring her back, please. Do it. But I hate when they end up focusing on any victim of the week. It works in some cases. It works in W because of the fact that since they're just a detective agency,
here's the thing. In W, I think it works because they are a detective agency.
It works there.
And I think in O's, it wasn't as bad either.
I heartily disagree. That show could have had such a much thicker story.
It could have had a thicker story, but here's the thing. With O's seems like a show that was geared towards more younger audiences. It is a more episodic show. In O's, I didn't mind it as much because they were able to mix in plot elements in the victim episodes in a way that I think worked.
Like, it works some cases.
Not as much as W. W did it. Okay, Forza.
Forza has an issue where since the people are students, one, the monsters aren't actually defeated. Since they're people, they don't kill them.
The victims mostly are the monsters.
Yeah. Which aren't always a bad thing. In some cases, those stories can be very dark, and I'm perfectly okay with that. Mm-hmm. Once again, like I said, the one with Gemini with Yuki at the end, quality. But I hate the fact that since we end up focusing on these victims of the week, or these monsters of the week, as they're basically the same person, and Forza, they end up becoming annoying. Forza's story is spread out so far from itself in some cases that it's just like, okay, why did we end up going with this? And I don't get, like, you get some of the reasons why they end up giving the constellation switches to the people near the very end.
I mean, especially at the end, and I think the movie did this too.
The movie did it great!
Yeah.
The movie was so good!
But that's one of the reasons I think Victims of the Week isn't as bad in Forza as it is in other shows, because the victims eventually serve a purpose later down the line, and they help Forza beat monsters, and, beat threats that he can't beat otherwise.
And the Forza movie is quality.
The Forza movie is quality. I think it's one of the better Kamen Rider movies.
It is. It's very, very good.
It's a very good movie.
But, let's go on to Wizard, shall we?
Now, this, I think, is the worst offender of all.
Wizard and Den-O are the worst of this. And Wizard has such a problem because its story could be there.
You have problems with Koyomi. Her actress was never there because she had so many scheduling issues. And as a result, they didn't build up any of the other interesting side characters, like what's the detective's name? I forget her name. Rinko. One of them.
One of the two.
One of them, sorry.
But then we end up getting characters like Shunpei.
But then you have Shunpei, we focus on him.
I hate him. The victims
Check out our useless characters in Kamen Rider Rant-O-Cast for more.
The victims are just like...
But we end up focusing so much. Like, every single story is about the victim, and as a result...
We get a lot of two-parters.
That's another problem that we have, is two-parter episodes. Since Den-O... Kiva and Decade kind of got away from this. Maybe not Decade so much, but
Decade was a different.
It was a completely different thing.
Yeah.
But,
in this case, it's just like.
But from essentially Den-O and then WO's Forza Wizard, they're all two-parters.
I hate two-parters.
And that's a problem.
Two-parters are terrible. They give us monsters who escape for no reason. They end up getting victims who don't matter for any reason. And they end up giving us shit that doesn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I hate basically everything about Wizard to an extent, besides the fights, because the fights are beautiful. But we end up getting something like this, where we're just like, hey, let's go save this person. Let's go be their hope for this one episode and never talk to them again. And it's just like,
they disappear, you never see them again, and because we're focusing so much on these characters that you never see again, Wizard, I think, suffers this the most. The Kamen Rider never gets any character development.
The story doesn't get.
We don't learn. He just becomes a blank slate. That's just. Yeah, he's not a terrible character in the sense that he's not doing anything bad. He's a good person trying to do good things, but we don't understand why he's trying to do good things. They don't give you. They might give you, one episode explaining a few things. They might give you you get the soccer episode, you get the Infinity episode. There's a couple of things here and there that they'll sprinkle throughout, but they don't devote enough time for a 50-episode series for us to really become invested.
Ghost almost did this. I say almost.
Almost.
Literally almost. Because of the fact that the way that show was almost set up at the very beginning, before he got boosted, he was just like having people hug it out like fucking Ultraman Cosmos, apparently. It's just like, I hate that. And these characters mostly didn't matter once again. Like in some cases they did, or you end up seeing them later on. But it's just like, at the same time, you end up getting these characters and you can't go anywhere with them.
Mm-hmm.
X-Aid did this perfectly. These people are patients. And the fact that the way that the story was set up there, it's set up for a much bigger story. It sets up just like how everything is going to end up happening at the end. Like the whole thing with him having to use his level 1 form. We hated level 1 form.
Level 1
was stupid.
I still hate the level 1
form. But they used it again
Mm-hmm.
in episode 44 in a way that made sense. And it's something that they took back from the victims that they had to deal with at the very beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
But X-A doesn't focus on the victims.
No, it doesn't.
It focuses on the characters.
It focuses on Emu.
And everybody else.
And everyone else. And the other riders. And
like, the victims are just there as a springboard.
Yes, I think, like, I'm going back to, like, I think it's the second episode where he's dealing with that little boy who doesn't like hospitals and he hates doctors. That's a good example of using someone who hates doctors as a way to build up him.
Yeah.
X-A does this very well.
Yeah. But then we end up getting something like all the other shows that we mentioned.
All the other shows we mentioned.
Make the victims go away. Don't make them come back. Shake them. Throw them off the train, and then just have them go into the past. They'll die. Who cares? You won't see them ever again.
Really not Marcus. You okay?
Thank you for joining us on another journey through the rants, everybody. It'd be great. We'll do another one soon.
What do you think of Victims of the Week? Are there shows that you don't mind them in, like I do with Ozer Forze? Are there or W? Is there shows that you really can't stand them in? Do you think they should go back to it? Do you think it's good that we're staying away? What do you think? Let us know.
Leave us with our stories. Our serialized stories.
Mm.
Quality. Bye, everybody.